here, cocaine in one of the bags, but I may have gotten that wrong. It's marijuana. I thought it said cocaine here. I don't know if I have time to read the whole article. Point is, I'm for drug decriminalization of all of this because that's what makes the people do this. That's what puts the money into it. So it's marijuana, not cocaine. It's in another case of a guy got in trouble with cocaine. Wait, let me read the whole article here. The council said other witnesses made contradictory claims, and some later admitted to having perjured themselves. Some admissions, the council said, were ignored by the court and the government. It also said that probationary agents who claimed to have witnessed the assault raised no objections during the incident and failed to notify an on-duty supervisor until hours later. Instead, they went off duty to a local Whataburger restaurant, got their story straight, and reported it hours later to an off-duty supervisor at his home, said the council. Then the witnesses went back to the situation and reported their allegations. Yeah, they got their story straight. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I have had cops slam my head in the wall for no reason on camera. I've had them beat me up at the Austin jail for no reason from a protest, some redheaded runt guy. I have had them on video with the handcuffs when I'm not resisting, cranking my arms up, trying to hurt me. No one, all right. Are we ready to go to the show now? Here's some of the other vaccine news I didn't get to. Unsurprisingly, Libya, that means Al-Qaeda that runs it now, asked NATO to stay until end of year. The Al-Qaeda leaders want them to stay and keep bombing because there's a civil war there now. Civil war of folks that don't want to go under Saudi Arabian control. So I've seen some Saudi Arabian-linked lobbies now attacking me. You got to love that. Continuing, Obama to Leno, Libya, a recipe for success. And I'm not going to show the video here. I may do it tomorrow. But a recipe for success. The grinning shill, international terrorist president of the United States, talks up the regime's atrocities on the late-night comedy show with the host, audience, and millions of people out in TV land going along with it. Holy bleep, the writer says. To me, Obama's recipe for success looks and sounds like a child with the lower half of his face blown off. There's a video there. Boy, it's chilling. A little bitty child. The child's horrifying screams emerged through a pulpy, gaping cavity where his mouth and jaw used to be. But hey, so what? Fighting Al-Qaeda by putting them in power. You shouldn't watch the video if you know what's good for you, but it reminds me of the words of Harold Pinter. It never happened. Nothing ever happened. Even while it was happening, it wasn't happening. It didn't matter. It was of no interest. The crimes of the United States had been systematic, constant, vicious, remorseless, but very few people have actually talked about them. You have to hand it to America. Well, that is the corporate globalists that seized us. We were just the big engine. They took us over. We're the big war horse, folks. We're ridden. It has exercised a quiet clinical manipulation of power worldwide while masquerading as a force for universal good. It's a brilliant, even witty, highly successful act of hypnosis. This is why the sack of expletive president can sit there and talk about saving civilians as their shredded bodies gurgle and shriek in terror. Even while it was happening, it wasn't happening. And they go into AP talking about the great peace. They've killed over 40,000 innocent people now there conservatively. And it's only going to get worse. Oh, by the way, speaking of Germany and the whole EU grabbing of the pension funds they're now announcing to pay the bankers, they flip it and blame Greece. They say Greece has the debt when Greece isn't even part of the debt. They're the cutout for the derivatives. Now they're saying they're going to take the insurance, because they don't actually have, like the U.S., I guess, they have some reserves, but the insurance on Germans' pensions will now back the trillion-plus euro bailout to the bankers, blaming it on Greece. So they blame Greece, and they flip it back and blame Germans and say Nazi jokes, wrath at Germans, highlight Greek despair. Because they're talking about making Germans pay for it, but also Greeks and everybody else. So they just spin it and say Germans don't want to pay for it. No, Germans don't want to give up their sovereignty completely to the euro. That's what this deal does. So this is just all part of the deception theory. And they say the dark shadow of German-driven austerity measures squeezing Greece has revived historical enmities and evoked comparisons to the massive destruction of the Mediterranean country at the hands of Nazi Germany over 65 years ago. And again, they know the average person has no grasp of history and doesn't understand they're playing countries off. Well, Greece needs the bailout and Germany won't give it. It's all countries in the euro are going to have to pay into this. It's just Germans happen to still have pension funds. So they all make it about divide and conquer while no one's looking at the banksters that did this. See how they work? See how they think you're stupid? Learn about this instead of football plays or soccer garbage. Not that football or soccer are bad, but when your country's burning down around you and they're putting microphones and cameras and light poles, that's coming up in the report, you've got to get serious and get agendas straight. I'm not saying going to a baseball game's bad, but if your house was on fire, would you just go, oh, it's on fire, I'm going to go to the baseball game? I'm going to leave my dog and kids in there. Our whole society is burning down around us. Other reports we've got on the flu, children may be given death-linked anthrax shots under bioterrorism scare trials. This is stuff that they admittedly killed our U.S. troops. They're now admitting that flu shots never protect you, never did protect you, and actually reduce your immunity. We have some graphics on that, I was told, so we can go to those. Because you guys were saying, it's a good thing I'm doing live tonight. There it is. Flu vaccine less effective than once thought. While the vaccine does work, and that's not true, actually, and still recommended to be used, it does not demonstrate the kinds of efficiency or efficacy levels we have reported, said the report. No, you actually look at it, it reduces your fertility, doubles your chance, one flu shot, of catching the flu the next year. So you add that in the equation, it makes it worse. They're just taking the one aggregate of only 12% of the time they actually guess the flu strain, so it's not really worth it. I mean, just a load of unmitigated baloney. All right, folks, you're going to get over an hour and a half tonight of Infowars Nightly News. Okay, that's just some of the news that we didn't get to, but we did get to because we ended up doing this live part up front. So we're going to go ahead and go to this transmission now. And please, if you're a PrisonPlanet.tv viewers or you're at InfoWarsNews.com, I want to remind you, we allow the sharing of the passcode by 6 people. That means that if you have a membership, you really get 6 memberships for the price of 1. Look, I would have, guess how many streams I'd have free if I had the money and everything. You know how many streams I'd have free? You know what that symbol is? In fact, I'll do it even bigger here. Okay? I would give you that many streams free. Here, I'll try to do a little bit neater. Okay? I'm usually good at writing. I'm not very good at an infinity sign. Because you notice that it's not the infinity. I'll give you a docucam shot here. The infinity sign is not 2 circles connected to each other. No, the infinity sign is a loop. See? That's how many free streams I give you, infinity. But instead what we're offering is 6. And we could offer even more free streams with the amount of members we have. But the operating system of the system that serves it itself, the actual website, can't handle it. Notice that's why some of you, when you log in right before the show, you have trouble for a few minutes because everybody logs in right at 7 instead of a few minutes before. And so the system's trying to say, man, we've got 100,000 people or 50,000 people, depending on the night, trying to log in right now, 2 minutes before. So everybody gets the football game right there at the end of it. And, you know, I mean, right at the start, at the end of the wait. And so we could even give out more free if it wasn't for that. But please share your passcode, share your username, make sure it's not one you have for other important stuff, because we just want to get this word out. And I forgot to add, I plugged this once on the radio for like 10 seconds today. We're offering 15-day free trials at PrisonPlanet.tv right now. So tell everybody you know about it, because again, we're just trying to get the message out to people. We know they're putting cancer viruses and sterilants in the vaccines, food and water. We're just trying to warn people. That is our only goal here. And so as viewers of this transmission, as true alternative media standing up against the establishment, please spread the word about the 15-day free trial at PrisonPlanet.tv. And also send your username and passcode out to your friends and family, because that 6 people can log in with the same username and passcode at the same time. At the same time. All right? So it's really more than 6 free memberships. Just if more than 6 get on at once, you'll be locked out, and that's why. And if that becomes a problem, just change your username and passcode and tell folks you had to change it because too many were using it. And then give it out to people again, but tell them not to share it. And hell, if we get some $5 million donation, I think they pay for bandwidth, wouldn't it, for like 5 years unlimited, or who knows? And no, I don't know about infinity. They'd shut us down before that. All right, that's enough pontification. Evil is rising, but for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Let's go ahead and go to the full transmission. A lot of great work the crew's put into this, and I'll see you, Lord willing, back live tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central on the radio. And, of course, back tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central with Infowars Nightly News. Remember, if you're watching or listening to this transmission, you are the resistance.